Congratulations on the film. This is more of an immigrant story, and I know both of you are immigrants as well. How much can you relate to it, and what kind of lesson did you get from doing this?
Well, I'm actually not an immigrant. I've never immigrated from my country. I've lived in Mexico my whole life, and I've never been out of my country until now. But yeah, I think we can all relate to this stories we've heard and we've seen, and some of us we've lived. And like my parents that are from Venezuela, they've lived something really close to that. You know, running away from their country to look for a higher life, and it's a really strong thing. And I think Alejandro writes this thing this theme really good because he knows a lot about it, not only because he's lived it, but because he did Carne y Arena, which was a really deep investigation of this, and yeah, I think he's done it great. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. My experience is the more immigrant experience, but I never lived it from a negative point of view. I think I was very privileged, and I went to live in Dubai because my dad, he didn't have a choice, and he was a pilot, and so he began to fly for Emirates Airlines, and I just grew up in this place from being a really baby, you know, so it was easier for me perhaps, but for my parents as well, similar to IKER, that they had to kind of rebuild from scratch their experience and their community and build new friends and leave their family behind. And so for me, going back to revisiting Mexico every year, I would realize like, oh, this is family, and I would eventually, when I grew older, would be nostalgic about what never was or what could have been. And then I eventually I studied in New York, and I was there for 4 years, which was a very different cultural experience. And then coming to Mexico almost 4 years ago now, and having lived there now for almost 4 years has been amazing. And I relate to that my character, who she's beginning to have thoughts about moving back or moving finally to Mexico, and I had the similar experience. And I think I began to question after seeing the film a lot about identity and a lot about trying to identify, and maybe people not allowing you to identify with a certain thing, when at the end of the day, I think we are allowed to identify with many things because we're not just from one place. We are, especially in this day and age, I think we're all nomads. We travel, we move around, we have different conversations with different people, different everything. So I think that we should all be accepted and allow ourselves to accept every moment and every experience with its own sort of identity.
And both of you, first time to work with Alejandro. So tell me about that experience working with him.
Well, he's a really good guy. I think he's really personal with his close friends, and he's really loved by the people who surrounds him. He is really good communicating with actors. We can tell, and you can tell by the other movies he's made. He's really good at communicating and expressing what he wants the movie to be about. So he's got the right words to talk about the right things, and I think that made our life easier because we would have a lot more communication, and we would receive the lines and the acting a lot. We would deliver it a lot more smooth.
Yeah, he has his attention to detail is very precise and special. And also, he just trusted us a lot, and his way of rehearsing and his methods, it's really makes us really happy to have worked with him.
Thank you very much for
Thank
sharing
you.
that. Thank you.
Thank you.